Well, that was weird. Late start. Everything's stupid already. It wasn't a full-on Zenith bash, but I could sense there was trouble from the start of that. Felt weird too. If you can't figure out, I'm completely discombobulated. I woke up late. Well, okay. So the way it unfolded was 5:55 a.m. I have to get up out of bed for my third pee of the night. I'm doing this all wrong. If I were smart, I'd get up before this show and take care of the running workout. When you do the running workout in the evening like I do, you drink a ton of water because you're dying. End up going to bed, and then that water has to leave. It's magnified by the one kidney thing that need to pee, so that sucks. So then I'm up it's just insane. I was talking about this the other day. But the downside of that is I don't want to get up that early. I'm up all night peeing, and then I'm getting old. So, it takes longer to pee, and my bladder doesn't completely empty because I'm old and an asshole. God, this is fucking terrible. This getting old sucks. By the time 6 a.m. rolls around, I want to keep sleeping. So what do? Okay, because the alarm is going to go off at 6:20. I go, well, I'll just hit snooze all the way till 7 a.m. And I go, fuck that. This is all in my head. I'm going to go ahead and set the alarm for 6:50. That's what I'll do. While resetting the alarm, I end up, I don't know what the hell I did. Next thing I know, my wife is waking me up saying, honey, it's 7:20. I go, it is? What the, You got to go do your thing. Oh, my God. I go, well, I'm going to need help. I need someone, because, I usually get up, take care of the dogs. I go, can you help? Yeah, yes, I'll help you. Just go. Go. My God. So I'm completely screwed up right now. Welcome in to the Eric Zane Show podcast. Kyle from Dumpster Divers will be our guest today for another edition of Let's Kill after significant time away. We'll talk to him. That should be fun. It always is. Eric Zane, Eric Zane, demolition removal, junk removal, Eric Zane. So I'm looking forward to that. Glad you are all here. Aram says, why'd she let you sleep so late? She didn't. She woke up then too. Normally she wakes up because of me. So she's, I guess whatever. For some reason she woke up, took a look at her phone, said, hey, it's time to get going. The show happens each and every day in the Baldwin Ace Hardware Fear Bunker Studio. Baldwin Ace Hardware, a beacon of DIY awesomeness in the Northland. So glad to have them as part of this show. Yesterday, back to the radio station. This is it's a schedule that's, wow, pretty dramatic because I got to get my stuff done here and then got to get to the radio station. But I'm learning that Bill does zero show prep. Like today, when I sat down here late, I knew that I was under the gun to get everything prepared to be able to put on a show. I have to see what stories I think are interesting that I can talk about. Topics that I can park on. Kind of like go back in my brain. What do I need to share? What do I, discerning, deciphering, editing out in my brain. It takes time. Bill, on day one, he rolled in before I did. And I was like, oh, man, okay, he means business. I get it now. And then day two, he got there, and just as I was sending texts saying, am I doing the show alone today? And I'm like, huh? What is going on here? Yesterday, same thing. So, and he just rolls in, turns on the microphone, and then he's got huge opinions and big name guests. I don't know how he does it. I would not function well. I don't function well like that. It makes me nervous. I posted yesterday promoting the show with this horrible picture of Bill. We had a couple moments during the show because Hank writes, you should be on this show every day. You add a lot to the show. And I'm like, oh, my God, thank you. Now, to be honest, I don't know. I'm very, very uncomfortable with him. So I don't quite know how to react, but I am figuring it out. And it's tough to put a finger on it and to be able to explain exactly what's going on there when we're together. But there's a bit of odd couple-like vibe to it, like a couple of bickering old men vibe, which the frustration is obvious. He doesn't listen to me half the time. And that usually leads to moments that are pretty funny, I think. Andy said it's working. You two need to be a duo every day. Andy said you bring out more Simonson frustrated fry humor, which I'm not sure what that means. Simonson frustrated fry humor. Andy F., who I know Andy. And it works. I did, in fact, call him an idiot. All right. Now I'm back. This whole thing has been a disaster already. Thank you, Jason Mays. Various people are calling me a dipshit. All right. This may be a shorter show today because of how stupid I am. Okay. Jesse is now typing song lyrics and a good callback. What are you doing? Oh, Jesse, I appreciate that. I appreciate you all and your efforts. Eric, what were you talking about? You look like you were really impassioned. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. This is all terribly embarrassing. So let's review how this is all unfolded. Is start of the show a handful of minutes late because I overslept. That's a problem. Then there's the problem of weird crackles are coming out of the microphone. Okay, don't know what's happening. Time passes. Everything freezes up. Ridiculous. Restart. Upon restarting, there's no sound. Terribly embarrassing. As long as you're all getting a laugh out of it. What an asshole I am. All I can do is try to put distance between those incidents and now. and try to just do a good job for the rest of this show. I feel very vulnerable and weak right now because I just did like a whole bit and not one person on the planet was able to hear it. Okay. It's over. Let's move on. Jerry Jones has a problem. The owner of the Dallas Cowboys. America's team. Now, Jerry Jones, he's an old guy. He was speaking. I guess some guy died. And the guy he was speaking about, his name is Larry Lacewell. And so at the eulogy, this guy was the director of scouting on the team, and that guy was old too, 85, and he died in May. Well, they were having like some big, hey, let's honor old Larry event. And Jerry decides that he wants to cut up. You know how like it is at a funeral? You kind of like, I love funerals that turn into roast. That are excellent comedy. And when you're sad, you really don't need to try that hard to make people laugh because all they want to do is get away from the sad feelings. So you don't have to work too hard to make people happy when they want to get away from the sorrow, you know? I mean, I think about when Diana's dad died. And everybody was like, oh, my God, he did this, he did that, he was so great. And then it was one of his subordinates went, because he was a fire chief back in the day. No, he was a captain. He was a captain, not the chief. And one of the guys that worked with Diana's dad come walking up. No one's ever seen him before. And he stole the show. I mean, everybody's reading sorrowful words about Jerry. He did this. He did this. He did that. He was great. And then this guy comes up and he goes, "Yeah, I'm here to tell you how Jerry earned the nickname the Hammer." We're like, what? And no one had ever heard about this. Some of you have heard this story. But it's great. You know, hanging around the firehouse gets to be pretty rowdy, I guess. And all they would do at the firehouse in Bloomfield Township, Michigan, or Birmingham Township, it was Bloomfield Township, is lose their checks playing poker, drink coffee, make chili, and sleep. So you get around the firehouse, you're there for 2 or 3 straight days. You're very close with these people. First of all, Diana walks up and she's talking about how committed he was and how his resolve was strong. And when he quit smoking, he just did it cold turkey. So that was incredible. And then this dude walks up, this lieutenant. He goes, "Hey, now that Jerry's passed, I'm here to tell you, he didn't quit smoking. He smoked all the time at the firehouse." So he drops that, and Diana's like, "Wait, what?" So that was incredible. I laughed. Then he's talking about, you want to know how he got the name the Hammer. And first of all, no one knew he was known as the Hammer, but around the firehouse, the guy had like a second life. So one of the other lieutenants or whatever is sleeping in the bunk, and Chief calls a meeting, and he says to Jerry, who's the captain, he goes, "Go get everybody. Hey, Chief wants to have a meeting. Get up." Fuck you. You can't say fuck you. I'm the captain. Get out of bed. Fuck you. He goes, all right, I'll fuck you. And Jerry was a big dude. He brings back his fucking hand and just buries it right in the guy's face. Right in the eye. Ah! And it just fucked the guy up. And the guy did not, he just got up out of bed with his eye immediately closed. And they all like saw it. They go, the hammer. He gave him the hammer. And from that point on, he's known as the Hammer. How spectacular is that? When Diana's dad retired, they I guess the way they do it is they put you in the passenger seat of the fire truck. And they drive you home in the big ladder and all the way home, lights going. They drop you off. They go, get the fuck out of here. I love the camaraderie between folks in the firehouse. It was just pretty. It had this ball busting military vibe to it. It was just sweet. Kicked his ass out. He's crying. And they're like, yeah, get out of here, you pussy. Fuck you. It was fantastic. I loved it. So Jerry Jones is roasting old Larry, the director of scouting for the Dallas Cowboys. Larry Lacewell. In his speech, he's busting balls on Larry Lacewell and paying tribute to him and his exploits with the football club. His speech about the scouting director highlighted his efforts to help create stalwart teams that pose legitimate championship threats in multiple seasons. During the speech, Jerry Jones, in order to joke and, bust the balls of the deceased Larry Lacewell, wanted to go down the road of, hey, I want to honor Larry at any practice or meeting by doing something that will remind us of him. Now, I guess this Larry Lacewell was short as shit, like super short. Like makes me look like an NBA basketball player. So Jones said, hey, I'm going to get me a midget to stand up there with me and dress him up like Lace. He calls him Lace. And think Lace is still out here helping at practice with us. But here it is to Lace, really, and I'm serious about that. So the line, I'm going to get me a midget, that did it. Now, I don't know about you. I understand that is a problem. Now, in front of you, right now, I am still going to say midget. That has not become offensive enough, in my opinion, to get me to stop using it. Whoever is in charge of making that word more offensive, you're going to have to work harder, because I am still going to say that. There are words that I think it could be a real problem. And I won't. This is not one of those words. And one of the reasons, there is a big reason why I'm not convinced of that. Because there's two sides to the story, and I'll get to that. Just be patient with me. I hope you're not too incredibly offended that I did that I read it verbatim, and that I indicated to you that, if someone comes up to me and I would say, look at you, you're a midget, Jesus. Nonprofit organization, Little People of America. You see, they like being called little people, and I don't see what's the difference. Little people, midget. Who gives a shit? Denounced Jerry's implementation of the word, stating the dwarfism, which is another terrible word. What would you rather be called? A dwarf? Isn't that like a mythical figure? Isn't that like from fucking fantasy movies? The dwarfism community has voiced that they prefer to be referred to as dwarfs. Do they have a meeting? Do they say, all right, what are we going to be known as? And like half the groups raises their hands, midget, and half the groups is the dwarf, little people. We prefer dwarves, little people, people of short stature, or having dwarfism, or simply and most preferably by their given name. Yeah, honestly, that's the thing. You shouldn't have any labels. If you really wanted to do this right, you just say, okay, so like if I were to be going out with Stu McAllister and my cousin, I say, hey, my cousin and I will pick you up. I would never dream at this point in time of saying, hey, my cousin and I are going to pick you up. Well, no, I would do that because I wouldn't tell him that he's a midget because I would want Stu to be surprised, and that would be hilarious. But in most cases, most people would say, hey, my cousin and I are going to pick you up, and he's a midget, so don't be shocked or whatever the fuck. It doesn't matter. But little people of America, they should be focusing on, we should just be referred to as people. No labels whatsoever. We're just people. And that's I think, the best, don't you? Little people of America spoke with TMZ and specifically referenced Jerry Jones' usage of the derogatory term midget is a term that has been widely known to be derogatory for years and should be common knowledge to anyone in the public arena, such as Jerry Jones. I'm going somewhere with this as to why I think they've got bigger fish to fry at Little People of America. The organization continued. Ignorance at this point is simply not an excuse. Any use of this disparaging slur, along with suggestions or insinuations that our statue exists for amusement, is deplorable and inexcusable. Jones apologized. During a media interaction in Oxnard, California, where the Cowboys were holding a training camp, Jerry Jones issued a public apology for saying the M word. Earlier today, I made a reference which I understand may have been viewed as offensive. I apologize, he stated. This isn't the first time this term has been associated with high-profile sports figures. During a 1995 playoff game against the Charlotte Hornets, Michael Jordan purportedly squared up against 5'3" point guard Muggsy Bogues. Muggsy was a well-known player who utilized his unconventional for the NBA stature to great advantage. During a final key possession where Muggsy had the ball during the game's remaining seconds, Michael reportedly stepped back and allowed Muggsy to take a shot that would have won the game. Michael reportedly said, "Shoot it, you effing midget." Muggsy took the shot and missed, and his stats were never the same after that. However, Muggsy himself denied the story, saying that it's been debunked several times and that Michael Jordan never called him the slur. However, he did take a step back and let Muggsy take and miss the shot, as seen in the video above. Kind of interested in seeing that little fella. Okay, hang on. It wouldn't surprise you at all if this doesn't work the way today's been going. I think he could dunk, Muggsy Bogues. Or am I getting that wrong? That might have been Spud Webb. Here's some great grainy 90s video for you.
76, 4:20 remains. Hawkins.
There he is, little guy right here. A little shit running around. Shoot it.
Open, takes that baseline jumper, and Michael there again.
Boy, sure.
76.
Boy, that was great. Sure, I'm glad I took the time to play that. That was just fantastic. Well, anyway. The rest of the story, as Paul Harvey would say. I think that little people of America, they need to turn their attention towards this outfit. Extreme Midget Wrestling, as it's known. They have this is incredible. Now, they have come through Grand Rapids before. And everywhere they go, they are met with people that aren't blessed with dwarfism, and actual dwarves or little people are there raising a stink against them, saying this is the worst thing in the world. So I think this is one of the most hilarious things that could ever happen, to have all of these guys in the organization that they call themselves Extreme Midget Wrestling, baddest Lil Show, and it has to be Lil, Lil Show, getting protested by other little people. And I think it would be a spectacular spectacle to have these folks screaming and yelling right out in front of 20 Monroe Live, the local venue, with other lil people surrounded by people supporting the lil people who don't like the term midget. And, I mean, until this gets solved within their own party, I think we're all in a holding pattern on this term, because these guys love this term. So I don't think we can say that that is a slur yet. I think we have to wait. We have to let these parties figure this out before we decide. I mean, it's who do you believe? One pack of people says this is a slur, and the other half are like, well, no, wait a minute now. We don't think it's a slur at all. We're all performers, and this is they're using the term. So, I mean, I think that this is really strange too. It's this one is tough to figure out, and even discussing it opens the door for trouble. If I continue to talk, I'm going to give you other examples of things that you could say about various races of people that you could put into this. And this would probably result in all sorts of issues for me that frankly, I don't want to go down this road. All I know is you've got the little people of America are saying, do not use the term midget. It is an absolute slur. And then other little people are saying bullshit, Extreme Midget Wrestling. Which, if you were to look at their tour, these people are busy beyond belief. Tomorrow, they're in San Antonio, Texas. Now, they're playing a lot of places, like basically just bars. And, you know, you'll be sitting there having a drink, and Lucha Dwarfinators. And then you're sitting there macking on some chick, and there's little people beating the shit out of each other in the squared circle. Caboose Bar and Grill. So they go from San Antonio to Houston, all the way up to Illinois. And so that's kind of the tour. Midwest and the South. Pennsylvania, Ohio, Virginia. So East Coast, Massachusetts, North Carolina. They're playing at the Army National Guard base in North Carolina, Elkin, North Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Virginia, South Carolina, Georgia, more Alabama, Texas, lots of Texas, Florida, North Carolina, Virginia, Florida, Alabama, more Texas. And then as far west as they go is Arizona. So, I mean, strikes me as something that probably in your liberal communities, you probably don't want these guys to go in there. It might backfire on them. These people, you're going to not woke communities, I think. But okay, in fact, if you took a look at the wrestlers in the organization, Extreme Midget Wrestling, these guys work their asses off. You got Boombox, Steve-O. Now, these people are stronger than your average, like, they're stronger than you and I. They may be shorter, but they have incredible strength. Like that of 3 or 4 men. But the arms are shorter, so you may actually be able to do okay. So they do have limitations. Sometimes they don't move well, depending on how wonky their legs are. A lot of times you get a little bow leg action. You got Rasta Roo. Pinky, this young lady, looks to be in incredible shape. Outlaw. And I like how the website looks excellent. And they really dress up. Octagon Cito, another luchador. Mini Fusion, that looks badass. Another luchador, Mini Durango Kid. Another luchador known as Lil Pecker. I think he's a rooster. Lumberjack is there. Lil D. King Midget. And then, this is sad, these two are dead. Rampage, he's dead. Mike Hawk is dead as well. All right. And they have been in Michigan. And I remember last time they were in Michigan, they were protesters. So you get woke little people and other woke people protesting the little people out in front of the venue. It's great. I love it. But Jerry Jones, I mean, I don't even know. If I'm Jerry Jones, frankly, I might be like, yeah, I understand that there's people offended, but I don't think that we're at a spot where I can apologize. People are like, what? Huh? Yeah, first of all, I'm old and I'm super rich, so I don't really give a shit. And third of all, I've got little people themselves calling themselves this. That would be like, the NAACP changing their name and having a different N-word somewhere in their title. That would be horrible. I wish I hadn't said that. That's probably going to come back to haunt me. Would it surprise any of you that I'm hearing terrible noises in my ears? I need to unplug this. Hang on. All right. I think everything is breaking down today. That's how it's going to be. The idea is floated. Eric Zane, can you ask Kyle from Dumpster Divers how many midgets he think he could take in a fight? I will. And I'd like to answer that too. I think one. No, I don't even think I could take one midget. And if it were one of these midget wrestlers, no, I don't think I could take one of them. They're extremely. Maybe I would have a chance against the lady. Ron from Dirty Donut Race says Jerry Jones should book the wrestlers at the Cowboys Stadium and do a show for charity. They should be the halftime entertainment. Another question. Kyler writes, how many could Kyle Tiller fit in one provided dumpster from Dumpster Divers? A midgets, a dumpster full of midgets, for God's sake. I probably shouldn't use that term. What do you guys think? The suggestion or the variable, it really depends. Is this a one-on-one where they're all lining up to fight, or are they all engaging simultaneously? It would all be simultaneous. I don't think I could beat one of these people. All right. For the folks that are watching on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, oh my gosh, it's been a shit show. Absolute shit show for you. And I apologize for that. It's nothing that I did. It just happened to happen. No, it is something I did. But it's just one of those days. You just got to roll with the changes, as Kevin Cronin from REO Speedwagon would say. All right. So if you are on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, what we're going to do now is I'm going to send you on your way. But if you want the full show, you can catch the rest of it on Twitch, twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live. Thank you so much. If you would go there and follow, you might have to give yourself a little username so that you can watch. But that's what you do. Twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live. That's where the show goes on in its entirety. And as always, you can sign up for my Patreon, where I do another second podcast each and every day. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. Or download the audio podcast wherever you download podcasts. Okay? Just search for my name, Eric Zane Show Podcast, and there you go. Listen to your heart's content. I thank you. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. Facebook and Twitch, brought to you by Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid, and EV. Twitter, brought to you by Blue Frost IT, and YouTube, brought to you by Frank Fuss. If you ever want to reach me on an email, eric@ericzaneshow.com. On the Shoreliners Striping inbox. Obviously, everything's sponsored. That's how I eat. And I want to keep eating. I was featured on another podcast. A gentleman by the name of Matt Kundle, which is a risky name to say. It premiered yesterday. He published it. And I want you to check it out, because if you're interested in some of the backstory of how this thing happened, and he calls this a podcast for broadcast. It's aimed at people in the broadcasting industry. And so that's his niche. I met him a few years ago at a broadcasting conference. And it wasn't that big of an interaction, but I've been following his show. And, a lot of the times what he features is stuff that probably isn't that interesting to the average person who doesn't have any idea about how the sausage is made when it comes to radio. But a lot of intricate industry things and, shit that the average person probably wouldn't find interesting. But I find it interesting because I've done this since I was a kid. But so I like listening to it, and it's from a perspective of a lot of people in Canada, because Matt is a Canadian himself. This is Matt right here, a short history of the Sound Off podcast. And so for years, he's done this show. And like all these faces you see, I know who all these people are. These are luminaries, bigwigs in the business. So I don't know why the hell he thought to reach out to me. But he did want to do that. So I was very excited to do that piece with him. So I sat down here, and he interviewed me, and he just made it public yesterday. And I will provide a link for it in the show notes of this podcast if you want to hear it. There's a lot of discussion about my time working through Free Beer and Hot Wings and then launching this show, because what he wanted to do is he described it as kind of like, and it is extremely flattering, because when I read what he wrote about me, it doesn't fit in my brain. It sounds like he's talking about someone else, because I'm not used to myself being talked about in any way positive, frankly. It just doesn't happen that way. But he did write this, and I am going to read it. First of all, I'm proud of it, and it kills time. No, I'm kidding. This week's show features yet another broadcast icon. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Don't call me that. Who I've been a fan of for a long time. Eric Zane is one of many former radio hosts who've made the transition into podcasting, and he's done it more successfully than most. Back when I met Eric in 2019, I knew him from Free Beer and Hot Wings show out of Grand Rapids, Michigan, a show he'd just begun to pivot, woke word, away from to debut his own podcast. But this was 2019. Side note, I just had the realization that here I am live on this show, and people who would be new were probably seeing all of the fuck-ups that happened today, so that's terribly embarrassing. People that are in my industry. God, Matt Kundle said this guy does a great show. The fucking moron doesn't even know that his screen's frozen or that he's talking with no audio. Anyway. But this was 2019, and it wasn't so easy back then to make the switch. Eric was one of the first to pick up on the new wave of monetization for podcasting. A wave we're still riding to this day, and the Eric Zane Show remains a gold standard podcast 3 years later. Oh, my God. Together, we talk about how he managed to make that switch, the stumbles he made along the way, and which avenues for support have been the most successful for him. We also dive into his storied radio career in Grand Rapids, where he still lives. Oh, my God. He's laying it on he's spreading it on with a trowel. Holy shit. Something we didn't get a chance to talk about on the show, but that I definitely think should tell you, about a lot about Eric's character is the time he donated a kidney to an old friend from high school. Check out his Fox News interview about it, or read the full story here. If any of you listening are here to dispute the character, you can reach out to Matt directly, and I'm sure he will add an addendum to this about questionable character issues. You are encouraged to do that. He writes, and here's a fun fact for those who might not know Eric or his show. He puts out 2 episodes a day, one for his regular free show and one exclusive episode for the Patreon supporters. And then he kind of got the math fuzzy, because he wrote, this means he's put out over 800 episodes total in just 3 years. And that is, unfortunately, inaccurate. It's over 1,900. I don't know how he got that wrong. I think we're at about 866. Today is the 866th free podcast. And that'll be the same for Patreon. So that's, wait a minute, 8, 16, 17. Okay. It's just under 1,800. I even got it wrong. But anyway, who's counting, right? As a podcast producer myself, the amount of work of that schedule that requires not only gives me an anxiety attack, but also is a massive amount of respect. Oh, my God. For Eric's work ethic and dedication to his show. You're very kind. If you want to learn more about Eric, you're in luck. He just happens to be one of the most connected podcast hosts out there. My God, the accolades here are ridiculous. It's embarrassing. Of course, there's website you can find and should listen to his show. But you can also find him on Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube. Support him on Patreon for exclusive bonus content, or even join his subreddit to become a part of his community. Boy, he transcribes it, too. That's pretty sweet. Look at that. I didn't know that. He transcribes the podcast. The question, have you spoken to those guys since? You know what he's asking about there? All right. I linked it up on social media if you want to check it out. Gonzalez, 1969, says, did your dad and Joanne write this? I know. That was that was a glowing description. I find that to be, 100% accurate, frankly. He should have wrote how humble I am, too. Kyle wrote, did you write this yourself? It seems like something I would write. All right. So check that out, and I'll link it up. Chris says there was a bit of embellishment. Oh, how do you know? How do you know? Okay. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. Thank you so much. If you've signed up in the past or you're thinking about it now, $5 or $10 a month. I suggest 1 month trial to see if you like it. Tonight, the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. That's what I was talking about before this thing all went to hell today. You've got this. You've got ass scrubbing. You've got huge show. Leave the radio station at 6. We have a 7 p.m. start for Ben and Eric today. Okay? 7 p.m. start, the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. If you do not receive the invites, if you're a Patreon member and you haven't received any invites and you want to join the show, send me an email and I will include you in that mass email that I send out with the link to join that show. So that's going to be incredible because this big day ends and then I'm like, oh, Jesus, the weekend can start because honestly, that's a lot. But, you know, once it's done, it's done. And then all I have then is Fridays. Friday's going to seem like a cakewalk. Oh, and by the way, today, in addition to scrubbing the NFK's asshole before I go to the radio station, I got to run 6 miles. So this has been just an absolute grind this week. And I wouldn't have it any other way. You would think that I do cocaine, but not a bit. Okay. The open and live stream, as technically fucked as it was, is brought to you by Sarah Honda Granville, SERRA, SarahHondaGranville.com. I have great news as they have just signed up for more marketing, another quarter on the show, and they're expanding how involved they are with this show, which helps me. I'm very, very appreciative of them at Sarah Honda Granville. If you are in the market for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, go to Sarah Honda Granville. Shop online, SERRA, HondaGranville.com. You'll be hearing a lot more from my friends at Sarah Honda Granville. My pal Frank Fuss is helping people navigate insurance needs. The world has changed when it comes to health insurance. There is no longer an excuse for you to not have health insurance. Okay? The government is taking care of most of the cost for you. And I think that is fantastic. A lot of people, I have never understood. I've never understood the problem that people have with Obamacare. I've found no flaws to it. I don't understand. Maybe I'm missing something. All I know is I've utilized it for almost 4 years and have nothing but positive things to say about it. And I've lived it. Now, I have help. Frank helps me every year re-enroll. He saves me money based on my changing needs for health care. People are aging out. You know, Jackie just got her own insurance. There's just various things that he makes sure that my T's are crossed and my I's are dotted. And it's like he's an agent. He's a licensed independent insurance agent / broker. And so every year, okay, Eric, it's time to re-enroll. Some questions for you. Okay, Frank, what are they? And he asks me questions, and he's way into it because he's an insurance nerd. And I'm like, yep, nope, yep, yeah, that's right, no, that's not true anymore. Okay, great, thanks, boom. And that's it. I have insurance. If you are self-employed, if you are between jobs, if your employer does not offer insurance. You could be eligible right now. So reach out to Frank, and he will help you every step of the way. Buyinsurancehere.com is his website, where you just fill out the form, and then boom, you're in the queue. Or just call or text him at 616-914-4070 and say, Eric Zane sent me. I need health insurance. Okay, something else that he's great at. He is the Medicare Advantage Plan expert. If you have someone you know or love, or you are already utilizing the Medicare system, you need Frank every year. And you need him right now to give you a Medicare Advantage Plan checkup, because you might be sidestepping things that are available to you that you didn't know, that you are entitled to right now. But if you haven't filled these forms out properly, you could be messing this up. So I suggest you reach out to Frank if you are already utilizing the Medicare system, or are about to, like you're getting ready to turn 65. Thank you to Frank at My Policy Shop Insurance. Hang on. I don't have the air conditioner on. Of course I don't have the air conditioner on. Don't move. I just realized it's getting hot. I keep picturing in my brain all these radio professionals who would listen to a show like Matt's, the Sound Off podcast. And here I am drinking water out of a milk jug. This is probably the least professional podcast in America. Stu McAllister's podcast is more professional than my podcast. I understand that and by the way, thank you again, Jason Mays, for tipping me off that there was no sound going out to the world. I guess Stu McAllister. Oh, and there were so many more fantastic people who reached out to me too. Amanda, Linda, Kenny, Jason, Megan, Chris, Stevie. Aw, thank you guys. Stu, I guess, on his Patreon, was discussing your old pal Eric Zane. It's worth it if you check it out. I don't want to read it right now, but if you follow Stu on Patreon, you should. He was talking about your old pal Eric Zane. The one thing I didn't like that I will read is Stu says, I don't listen to the Eric Zane Show podcast. It's like, what the fuck? I listen to you, dick. What the fuck? Come on, man. The band Rage Against the Machine. Great band. I love those guys. I think they're a little weird. I know they're way woke, but who gives a shit? I don't care about that. Yeah, Rage Against the Machine are absolutely just fantastic. Just a terrific band. And I think there was a lot of time off for that band, and now they're like kind of getting back together. I only know the two guys, the lead singer, who's just a unique sounding dude, Zach De La Roca. Is it Roca? And he's fucking sweet. And Tom Morello, the guitar player, who I, to this day, do not know how he manages to be so good at guitar because of how he plays it. Have you ever seen Tom Morello play guitar? He plays it like way up high. Like the guitar strap, he can barely get the thing over his head because he plays really high, like where he actually strums with the pick or hits the strings is up by like his throat. I got to get a picture of this. Tom Morello, high guitar. Yeah, look at it. It's like looks like one of the Beatles. I guess it doesn't look nearly as bad the way I'm. No, it does. It's fucked up. Look at this. I'm not. Usually they let it. They like most guys sling it down low. But that's like way high. That's like a whole guitar width too high. But he's like one of the best. You see the hat, Unite. Oh, yeah, he's woke as shit. Here he is wearing a Chicago Blackhawks hat, so that's fucking terrible. Here he is, a message for homeless people. It should say, get off the fucking street. There's Ed. Ed puts it way down low. Morello's way up high. It makes me uncomfortable to watch him. Okay, thank you, Fitbod, for sponsoring the show. All the time that you have your face buried in the phone, isn't it about time that you got something out of it? The Fitbod app on your phone, it tells you what to do when you are ready to work out. Okay, you've made a decision. You finally want to do something. The Fitbod app has everything you need. If you're working out at home, at the gym, with weights, no weights, doesn't matter. This thing is going to get you in shape on a cardiovascular level, heart and lungs, strength, your muscles, your endurance, all of that stuff, and it's going to be fun. You're going to love it. It tracks your fitness, tells you about the goals, how close you are to them, and it modifies itself and the workouts for you based on how you're doing. How? I have no idea. It's that $10,000 word that everybody uses nowadays called algorithm. But this is what I want you to do. This whole thing is free for you to try out. Okay? You can try it free at fitbod.me/Zane. Now, if you do fitbod.com, you're going to wreck everything. So don't do that and listen to me for once in your life. Try this for free. fitbod.me/Zane. See for yourself how awesome this is. And my gosh, you're going to get the workouts. Stick with it, okay? You know, Rome wasn't built in a day. You're going to get this done, and I believe in you. You can also get 25% off of your subscription and try out the app for free when you sign up now at fitbod.me/Zane. One more time, 25% off your subscription or try it free at fitbod.me/Zane. Now get after it. Okay, you know, losing fitness, gaining weight, that all hurts a person mentally. Honest to God, that can affect your relationships. It's time to turn this thing around. I want to help you feel better. And all you have to do is decide that you want to try. I want you to try this as you're trying to turn things around. It's the Fitbod app. This thing is amazing. You don't need a ton of weights to do this. You can do it in your home with no weights. You can do it in the middle of nowhere like I do at Fear Bunker North. You can do it at the gym. The workouts are tailored to what you have to work with. And my gosh, they work everything. Muscles, cardiovascular system, you name it. It's time to turn it around, and I want you to do it by using the Fitbod app. One of the important things about Fitbod is the algorithm changes, which, you know, those are words that's kind of like above my pay grade, but it senses and knows when you're improving as you work out and updates your fitness plan as you go so that you're not like stagnating and things like that and plateauing. Fitbod has figured it out, and all you have to do for less than the cost of one session with a personal trainer, you can get a full year of personalized workouts with Fitbod. It integrates with your Apple Watch, Wear OS smartwatch, and apps like Apple Health, Fitbit, and Strava. Man, this is incredible. You can crush your summer fitness goals with personalized workouts from Fitbod that improve as you do. Get 25% off your subscription or try out the app for free when you sign up now at fitbod.me/Zane. It's got to be fitbod.me/Zane. Try it out and see for yourself. 25% off your subscription or try it free at fitbod.me/Zane. Fitbod. Play guitar. So Rage Against the Machine is on stage. And some fan rushes the stage. We're going to take a look at this right now. So if you're listening to the audio podcast, oh, by the way, Tyler says, didn't he say Kyle was going to join the show today? Yeah, he asked for a later time. 9:30. In this clip, some fan goes running on the stage. And you'll see the guy come flying up these steps right here. And then I think they had their eye on him. They knew that guy was going to attend. Look at all these fucking people. They knew that they had it because as soon as this guy started breaking up the steps to go attack Zach De La Roca, security dude comes flying in and saves the day. But problem, he throws the guy off the stage and then he smashes into Tom Morello. And Tom Morello goes flying. Okay. Oh, my God. They're doing Killing in the Name of. Oh, God, that's fucking sweet. Watch these steps. Here he comes. Here he comes. Okay, so fat ass gets hit. He goes flying off, and then he tries running into the crowd. They're going to catch him. But the security guard, after he chipped the bad guy, hits Morello, who goes flying off the stage. Oh, my God. Okay, so now Morello's getting his shit together. This is great. Zach De La Roca goes, holy shit.
What happened?
Sorry, we're cool. We love y'all, but don't do that.
Started it all over again. That looks fun. Sorry, y'all, we're cool, but don't try that shit. It's almost like, fans going too far fuck everything up. Imagine that. Weird. Anyway. All right, about the guy. Security went to tackle the guy, and everything got completely jacked, obviously. They're on the road with some group called Run the Jewels. Let's see. Pittsburgh tomorrow. That sounds like it would be a fantastic show to see. Then they're in New York for several nights. Oh, my God. Then off to Europe. How cool is that? Let's see. Any place fun that we can. Oakland. Up to Canada. Detroit. April. That's great. They sound fantastic. How about that? All right. So that happened. Jesus. Weird. Son of a bitch. Okay. God, I had a story. Would it surprise you if I'm not ready for it? Let's see. I don't have it. Hold on a second. Obviously, a lot of discussion about January 6th with this hearing going on, which I understand that some of you think is bullshit. That this is all a dog and pony show. I don't at all. I think it's great that there's like this reckoning, and I'm hoping that the Justice Department is able to actually press charges. I actually want that to happen. But this couple had it all figured out, and they were sentenced to 60 days in prison for this. And I'm kind of like, I don't know if they should get 60 days in prison, because they were seen on camera in the Capitol, in the Red Square there, smoking a joint. They got in there and fired up a joint. Now, of all the people that are running in there, they have to win some type of award for being the most laid back. As all of these assholes rush in, all of these sicko white people, and I've yet to see one black guy try to overthrow the government. In any of the, I haven't seen one black guy in any picture. Isn't the guy, though, who runs the Proud Boys, isn't he like a black guy? Or he's like a half black guy? Or something like that? Well, these two, John and Stacy, they got all the way inside of the Capitol, sat down, and blazed. They were sentenced to 60 days in prison earlier in the week for their roles in the insurrection. I cannot go that far and say that they actually had anything to do with wanting to overturn the election. And can we stop saying that that was all a joke, that was all nothing, that was just rabble-rousing? Okay? If those people headed their way, Trump would be in office and Mike Pence would be dead. I was just talking with Kyler Wells about that, and he agrees with me. They each pleaded guilty to one count of parading, demonstrating, or picketing in a Capitol building. They initially faced 4 charges related to the riot. But as the government works to prosecute the more than 870 people arrested, federal prosecutors have offered some rioters lesser charges in exchange for their guilty pleas. I don't know. 60 days? That's a long time. And all they're doing is smoking a joint. Now, they were captured on surveillance footage inside the building. Prosecutors said they spent 40 minutes inside. During that time, they burned. According to court documents, the couple took a bus to Washington, D.C., and that was their plan. They used a public Facebook page to organize the bus trip from South Carolina to the nation's capital. In court, both husband and wife apologized for partaking in the riot, telling the judge that they regretted their actions and had faced social and professional consequences. Regrettably, we brought this on ourselves. How is it that all of these people that did this could all have been avoided if they would have just covered their faces? Why didn't they all just buy ski masks? I've never understood. We live in a day and an age when everywhere you turn, there's cameras. You can't get away with anything. Cover your face. My God. The judge asked the husband asked the judge not to give his wife prison time, taking credit for the couple's decision to go to D.C., but the judge said no. You're both getting 60 days in prison. The sentencing was meant to serve as a deterrent for anybody else who might believe they have a right to storm the Capitol. What bums me out is the people that were in the Capitol, they didn't do enough damage to warrant like life sentences or, hanging or something like that. Or they just basically busted shit. I kind of wish they had actually gotten into the Capitol and slaughtered Congress. Because had they done that, actually slaughtered Congress and came running out, holding on to Mike Pence's head, like Eric Dickerson carrying a football, I think then we would have had, more drama where they're actually pulling up with an armored vehicle with an M60 on top of it and just ripping into the crowd at that point. And you're seeing bits of body parts and blood and shit flying everywhere and just spraying the white building of the Capitol. In my heart, I kind of wanted that to happen, but as it was, these gutless idiots did not have enough gumption to actually do any real damage. So the sentences we're seeing, it's all nonsense. These 1 month stay in prison. Outside of the one crazy bitch who got shot when she tried to climb in the window, that was actually a great thing that happened. But, there hasn't been anything else in dramatic fashion. But that's just me. That's just my opinion, I mean, come on. Holy shit. Okay. Kyle from Dumpster Divers is going to join us in moments. In theory, because it's been a couple of weeks, and what a time off for him. So I'm looking forward to hearing from him and seeing what he has to say. It should be great. He will be around in just a bit. Until then, though, hire me on Cameo. Cameo.com/Eric Zane. If you or someone you know or love is getting ready to celebrate a birthday, maybe some type of workplace achievement or they graduate college or high school, I'd love to offer a congratulations. I can be as nice and as mean as you want me to be, okay? If somebody needs their balls busted, I will absolutely do that. Cameo.com/Eric Zane. And it's just $15. So it's a lot of fun, and I really enjoy doing them. So if you want to check it out, go to Cameo.com/Eric Zane. While we wait for Kyle, thank you again to Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid, and EV. Don O. just yesterday banged on their door and said, hey, I listened to the Eric Zane Show podcast. Will you please fix my car? Thank you, Don. I appreciate that. Megan was very, very happy. 616-532-6600. Reach out to them. They are right pretty much in the center of Grand Rapids, Michigan. Just 4 blocks east of US 131 along 44th Street. Side street called Stafford. Head down there. New construction going on as they double the size of their business. 616-532-6600. I've got racing at Berlin Raceway this weekend. 6:30 start time. Buy your tickets online if you want to go do something very, very fun and enjoyably fantastic experience. You will have a ton of fun. If you've never been, holy cow, you got young kids, bring them. I do recommend some type of ear protection. They have it there if you forget it. BerlinRaceway.com. When you buy the tickets online, they're just $12. Children 15 and under, free. I love saying that. You have a really, really affordable family experience. You can get away with getting the whole family in if they're under 15. And, mom and dad pay for their tickets. $24 for an evening of fun. Are you kidding me? You can bring your own cooler with all the snacks you can pack into it. 12 by 18 and smaller on the cooler, please. And they do measure it. If it doesn't fit in the template on the way in, you got to put it back in your car. So don't try to have a bigger cooler. 12 by 18, all the snacks you want, all the soft drinks you want. You can have no glass, though. Who brings glass? Come on. So that's awesome. If you want to go get a beer, they're just $5. And at a venue, that's dirt cheap. There's a bar underneath the grandstand. It's awesome. Great summer nights at Berlin Raceway. Got a band playing there. You got a merch shop. They got it all covered. Great concessions. Love it. Hot dogs, just $3. And you can even smoke. Not in the grandstand. You got to go over to the Smokers Outpost. That's where all the burnouts hang out. BerlinRaceway.com. Thinking about you, Jeff Striegel. He's going through a tough patch right now. And I heard the news. My condolences. Thank you again to the Kent County Health Department. AccessKent.com/health. For any type of immunizations that you need for the kids as they go back to school. Keep that in mind. Not to mention, if you're getting ready to travel abroad, you will need some type of immunizations depending on where you're going. If you're going to one of these shithole countries, like Donald Trump likes to call them, you may need an immunization. All right? Kent County Health Department, accesskent.com/health. All right. Kyle should be here very soon, but I'm going to try to squeeze in a couple more, so my apologies. The managed IT service provider of the show is Blue Frost IT. Love those folks. Alan and Ashlyn, startup business. Doing great things. Voted on by their peers as the number one IT business in all of Michigan at the annual IT convention for the state. They keep winning it. It's because they're the best. Now, if you have a small or medium-sized business, you probably don't have your own IT department. Well, you do now with Blue Frost IT. So the first thing you need to do is upgrade your tech because your shit's slow and it sucks and all your employees hate it and they want better stuff to be more productive. Don't discourage them, okay? Reach out to Blue Frost IT and get started with that. After that consultation, they'll help you buy your stuff, they'll help you set it up, and then they will become your managed IT service provider. See, Kyle is in waiting right now. He's getting set up right now. It's been way too long since Kyle has joined us on the show. Before we bring him in, remember, there's comedy at Full House Comedy. Venues all over West Michigan. Holland, Muskegon, Grand Rapids, north of GR. FullHouseComedy.com for any show in and around the area. Venues all over the place. Love them so much. Ladies and gentlemen. Okay, let me see if I can make this happen because with me, you never know. I give you the multi-talented Kyle. Kyle, how are you, buddy?
Good. How you doing?
I can't yet see you, but that's okay. It's not your fault. It's my fault.
Well, that's all right.
Okay. How are you? Where you been?
Good. Hey, so first of all, sorry I didn't. I forgot my microphone this morning, so you're getting shitty quality Kyle today, dude.
It sounds fine. It sounds fine, man. It sounds fine. Everybody's glad to see your face, though, man.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I ended up I was locked up in some dude's basement for a couple weeks there.
Okay. Hey, I was talking about the vacation. I hope you had a good time on your vacation.
Yeah, it was a good time, actually. So guys, here's what's going on. I'm trying to get dumpster divers on a fucking TV show. So I've been going through like this casting process and whatnot, I guess you'd say. So yeah, I had to. I was kind of out doing that and doing some other business meetings, I guess you'd say. Yeah, so that's what I was doing. I'm trying to get dumpster divers famous, dude.
So this would be like one of those shows that you see on like TLC or some stupid shit where they like script half the stuff, or I mean, how would it go?
So here's the thing. So I guess I shouldn't really call it a TV show because it's not actually on TV. It's like it's more of what do you call it? It's like an entrepreneur competition / reality show type thing, I guess you'd say. But yeah, it's on like Facebook and it's on like it's not on TV. It's on
Right.
like various.
Okay, so this would be
forms of-
web based, is what you're saying.
Yeah, basically. But the point is, like, it's like a competition or whatever, and then you get like some sweet ass contacts and whatnot. So I'm trying to make it so, dumpster divers, so we can start franchising and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, I know you had talked about that. So the idea would be dumpster divers would be all over the United States, and people would like buy in, like if they're trying to get a fucking Kentucky Fried Chicken the same way, right?
Same thing, dude. And then your old buddy Kyle just ends up getting richer and richer and richer, dude.
Yeah, I know it. So that at that point, you don't really do anything. You just say, "Yeah, okay, you're the new franchisee," and then you just take his money. It's like a big pyramid scheme.
Well, no, there's quite a bit that goes in. That's so that when I worked at 2 Men in a Truck at the corporate office back in the old day skis, that's what I did. Like I helped people start up franchises. So that's like my special. So once we get into that level, when we start doing that, then people are going to get some pretty serious shit from dumpster divers. It's going to be cool.
Excellent. What else is happening? What can you share with us that's fun and exciting with you, Kyle?
Well, that's like the most fun and exciting thing, I guess you'd say. Trying to get on a fucking TV show, because I feel like since I was a little kid, I feel like I was born to be on TV, but I never have had the opportunity, nor did I ever think I was gonna get that. I was like, dude, dumpster divers might be the old way, you know what I mean? So whatever, I'll let you guys know what happens.
Well,
with that.
Considering that people, all they do nowadays is on TikTok, they just shoot a stupid video of them dancing, and the whole world knows about it within 5 minutes.
I know.
And they're instantly famous. Why not? What would you do on your show? Are you just counting on your wits and style to get you?
So here's the thing. Here's what the old anticipatory Kyle skills. This is what I think is going to happen. There's going to be a bunch of fucking people who think that they're real fucking smart and like they try to be like the best business person of all time. And like, you know how those people are. So I think they're going to do that. And then there's going to be me, who's going to be exactly like you guys know me, and just cracking jokes and making a breeze and talking like an idiot. And that's what I'm going to do, dude.
All right. Very good. Question. Hi, guys. Who of you two has banged more chicks?
That's a good one, because here's the thing. I in my 20s was not like a very I wanted chicks or whatever, but I'm very scared of STDs, so I wasn't like a one night stand guy or like a going partying or going like I wasn't like crazy like that. So it might be you, dude. But here's the thing also. I'm pretty tall and I tell a lot of jokes. So like chicks were interested in me, but like not to like a crazy level. So it depends on what your younger life was like, Eric Zane.
No, it was very okay. Now, if I had the opportunity to like every night a new chick before Diana, I would have done that. Okay, I would have absolutely have done that. But that never really manifested because, I met Diana and I was very, very young. So, we've been together ever since. So my number stands at 3. There's only 3. 3 women.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I've definitely banged more chicks than you, but not like I never banged like 100 chicks. I know some dudes out there probably banged like a couple hundred.
Right. And the thing with me is, like woman number 1. Okay, this is my very first sexual experience. It never occurred to me that women sometimes want to just have sex with a guy and then that's it. It's over, So when that happened, for me, I was like, I love you with all of my soul. I will never. And she's like, oh, fuck, this creepy fucking idiot. Oh, no. And so, she quickly got rid of me, and I was like, my heart is broken. My life will never be the same. It's embarrassing, But
yeah, you got to be careful about that stuff, dude.
I mean, had I known that was, I mean, that would have been fine. But I was my first experience. That was like, it was, that was it for me. I was all in. So yeah.
It's fun. I thought somebody asked about Gonzalez, 1969, says, did Kyle answer the question of how many small people fit in one of his dumpsters? If he means midgets, I've thought about it before, 100%.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier in the show. First of all, that term, it's kind of like, I guess that's like saying the N word or the R word. What do you think about that?
No, dude, I call them midgets 24/7, dude. They're midgets. That's what they are, dude.
I'm glad you took the heat off me because I was saying it as well, and I was also talking about there's the Extreme Midget Wrestling Organization, and they call themselves that, and they travel around the country.
Yeah, dude. Here's the thing. Whatever, like I know that what they're supposed to be called, what, like little people. To me, little people sounds worse than midget.
I agree.
Then it's like, because yeah, it's like you're calling them like a people, but then like you got to categorize them. Like you're not a regular person, you're a little person. You call them a midget, it's like a whole different category, dude.
Wasn't there a candy known as midgets for a while? It was like
dude, it was Tootsie Rolls.
That's what it was.
The little ones, those are called midgies.
That might be bad too. I mean, that's kind of like abbreviating the N word. If you shorten the N word, you're still going to lose your job.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, if it's okay to shorten midgets to midge, well, if you shorten the N word to something, you're still going to be in trouble.
That's here's an interesting question that we need one of the viewers who are on Google right now. What came first, calling them midgets, or did the Tootsie Roll midgies? Did those come first, and then we started calling midgets because of the Tootsie Rolls, or do we call the Tootsie Rolls midgies because of midgets? This is one of the classic questions of our generation.
I agree with you, but I'm pretty sure that whoever was making Tootsie Rolls said, hey, these ones are small. So those people are small, so let's just call them midgies. And then they're sitting around the board meeting, they're going, yeah, fuck those midgets. Let's just call them midgies. So, all right.
Here's the thing. If there was ever a corporate meeting where a bunch of people are sitting around a table and someone said, fuck those midgets, that's a company I want to work for.
100%. In fact, you should put on your website, Dumpster Divers, and then put a star, one of those big advertising stars, and in the star write, fuck those midgets, right on it, and put it on your website.
And here's the thing. Like, I feel like it would kind of work because I don't know this for a statistic, but I haven't seen that many midgets in West Michigan, so I don't think I'd lose too many half customers.
Well, half customers. Well, what's interesting, I don't know, because there's been a lot of talk about abortion, with the overturning of Roe versus Wade. So I don't, because one of the problems with abortion for a lot of people is, a lot of the times the physicians can determine, okay, you are carrying a child that has Down syndrome, and so moms will abort the baby because they don't want to raise a child with Down syndrome. Now, for me, I find that horrible and disgusting. But I wonder, my point is, do the doctors say you're carrying a midget? And then the mom goes, well, I don't want that fucking midget. And then that's it,
You're right. That's I thought about, me and Blue actually talked about that before my son was born, where she was like what if because I was always not making fun of midgets, but they just scare me. They just freak me out. So if you see like a midget on TV, or if you're talking about midget, then I would say my opinion or whatever. And she's like, what if our son becomes a midget? And like, I was like half joking, but like more so I was like, we can't do it, dude. Cause it just freaks me out. It just freaks me out.
I think the description of what if our son becomes a midget, you make it seem like they transform in some weird way. I think they're born that way.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't mean it as
it's not a choice.
Transition. Well, I guess you can. I guess you can pretty much transition to anything these days. So you could probably transition to be a midget.
Well, yeah, of course you could. I mean, if a lady can cut her boobs off and become a man, you can hack off your arms and shorten them and reattach them and become a midget, right?
I like that.
Okay. All right. Josh says, no, they definitely don't grow into it. This is all a horrible conversation, by the way. This is all. And by the way, Sarah writes that Tupperware.
How do we get on midgets?
Because it was in the news, because Jerry Jones talked about it. And then someone asked if Kyle how many midgets you could get in a dumpster. Tupperware has little containers that are called midgets. So if you get Tupperware, you can say, get your midgets from Tupperware. Would you have sex with a midget? Would you have sex with a midget, Kyle? If you were a single man.
Me? Absolutely not.
Oh, I would. You
would?
I would have sex with anyone. I would have sex preferably with a woman, but any woman. I am an absolute. Right now, I am monogamous, obviously, but I am an absolute whore. I would sleep with any woman, especially birth defects.
Yeah, it would be physically impossible for me to do that because I would not be able to become hard. I would be like, you're freaking me out, midget. That's all. It wouldn't work.
I think you're taking the cake of absurdity and rudeness by saying that they freak you out. I mean,
hey, everyone's entitled to their opinion. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people got a lot of crazy opinions. Mine is just that midgets freak me out.
All right. Well, moving on, Kyle. Is there anything else that's burning on your brain in this edition of Let's Kill with Kyle from Dumpster Divers?
Yeah, I got a couple of things. First thing is, I've been thinking about it a lot lately. I'm 33 now, and you know how you just think of random thoughts and kind of categorize your life in terms of years by random categories. And I'm realizing that I'm 33, and my window to start a YouTube band it's getting little, dude. I'm getting older, and I might not be able to do it, dude.
Wait a minute, I missed that. It kind of crapped out. What?
Oh, my bad. I said I'm 33 now, so I'm getting older, and I'm realizing that my chance to start an 80s rock tribute band, it's dwindling, dude.
Okay. What are you, just a singer, or you play guitar too?
Yeah, I play quite a few instruments, but guitar is my favorite. Now, I could be a singer, but it's not going to be quality. It's just going to be more showmanship as opposed to
right.
quality vocals. You know what I mean?
Okay, so Tom Petty.
Yeah. Well, no, I'd be more it'd be let's see here, Alice Cooper type singing.
Okay. Well, what's the holdup? Why would this? What in the world could possibly hold you back? Just go do it. Is it time? Is it all time?
It's time, dude. It's straight up. I got my son and stuff, and I got to mow the lawn. There's just too much crap to do for me to be in a band. But when I was younger, I was like, dude, 100%, I'm gonna start a 80s rock band before it gets too late. And I think it's too late, dude.
No, come on. No. I mean, especially if your business were to take off to a point where people are just making you rich beyond your wildest dreams, then you have the time. You have the money, and before long, you're going to have the chicks. Because as soon as you do an 80s rock band, you're going to get 50 and 60-year-old women who just are losing their minds over you.
You're right, dude. I know, because the funny thing is, I mentioned Alice Cooper. I've gone to a bunch of his concerts, and actually, I think me and Blue are going to go to the one in September when he comes to the GR. But usually when I go to those concerts, it's me jamming, just standing up and rocking, and then a bunch of old people sitting in the chairs looking at me like I'm nuts.
Yeah, well, you're kind of like an outlier, being that you're only 33 and a fan of a guy whose average fan is like 89 years old, like that.
I know for sure.
How is it that you love Alice Cooper? How were you introduced to him by your family or something?
So that's a solid question, right? So the reason I ended up liking him, this is how like an Asperger-y type brain works. But I thought it was my cousin. Okay, not like I thought Alice Cooper was my cousin, but like I heard his song Desperado. Like my dad had played it in the cassette player or whatever, and his voice sounds like my cousin's voice. But my cousin's like way older than me. He's like, I don't know, probably 20 years older than me because my mom's sister is way older than her. But anyways, so they sounded similar. And so I was like, that's my cousin. You know what I mean? And my dad's like, no, dude, that's not your cousin. That's Alice Cooper. But I like didn't believe him at first. But then they gave it to me and like showed me music videos and stuff. But then I just that was it. Like I just loved it right after that.
I've actually met him. I think I might have told you that have I ever told you the time I met Alice Cooper?
I feel like you did. I can't remember the D's, but you did, dude.
He's great. Wonderful guy. Yeah, that way
he's the best, dude.
The thing is about Alice Cooper, his vocal range is not. I mean, he's not a great singer, but he is singing the right notes. There's just not much range to them, and I think that he's in the wheelhouse of anybody who likes to sing karaoke, like the song "Be My Lover." She struts into. That's all he's doing. He's just growling.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Kyle. Anything else going on that you want to hash out with the audience?
Yeah. So I looked up this article, and it caught my eye because, listen, dude, women are crazy, right? So I caught this article, and I don't know if you talked about this yet, but.
Time out. You're breaking up bad now.
Uh-oh. I'm right under the. Do I sound better now?
For that sentence,
Listen to this article, dude. This is the title of the article. Sheriff says woman intent on revenge set fire to house, dude. So basically, this article says this lady wanted it like her ex-boyfriend like pissed her off or whatever, and she went to burn his fucking house down because she was pissed, and she burnt down the wrong house, dude.
She burnt
Can
down.
You believe that, dude?
Oh fuck, crazy! She burnt down the wrong house.
It's like, I mean, I do not know what to think about that, dude. I was just like. Can you imagine you're just a dude in your house and like all of a sudden like the house is on fire and you go out there and like the lady is probably like out there like screaming at the house and he goes out there and he's like, who are you? And she's like, wait a minute, is this Jesse's house or whatever?
He's standing out and then he's like, hey, what are you doing over there? Oh no! She's like, oh fuck. Yeah, that would be screwed up. So they obviously caught her and she's busted.
Oh, busted big time, dude. I mean, I know. Can you imagine like going to you go to jail for that and like in there you're like telling the story of how you got in there and then you burnt down the right house.
I'm reasonably concerned about witnessing that in my own neighborhood. All right, hey, I'm gonna cut you loose. You're the best, and I want everybody to reach out to you on Dumpster Divers, DumpsterDiversLLC.com. To obviously get a deal in a dumpster and your podcast if they want to.
Dumpster Divers, baby, and yeah, check us out, give us a call, and then also check out the Chibian Show, baby.
What do they search? The Chibians Show, yes.
Yep, that's exactly it, baby.
Chibians.
Chibians, baby.
All right, it's good to have you back. Tell your lovely Blue I said hello, okay?
All right, sounds good. Love you guys.
All right, see you, man. Kyle from Dumpster Divers. Yeah, I don't know how it is. He starts out fine, and then the computer fucks up. I think Woke Stevie might have gotten bent out of shape on that. I think she did not like the jokes about little people. All right, I'm gone. So I gotta fix this. She did this big. All right, I'm leaving. Very concerned about her.
Hello?
Hey, Stevie. Hi, how are you?
Good, Zane. How are you?
Oh, my God. You didn't like that talk about little people, did you?
No, it wasn't that. It was the comments.
Oh, comments? People were making bad comments?
People were, I don't know, some people I don't know.
Oh.
They were just, I don't know, just being gross.
Is it
That's all.
okay?
I was like, I can't deal with this right now.
All right. I'm very happy to hear that, by the way, because I thought that it was me, and I was like, oh no, what did I do to Stevie? I was worried about that.
No, it wasn't you. It was just, I was like, this is a little bit much for me this morning. I'm not awake yet.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I have no idea. There's like a new name in there that I don't recognize, and I don't know who it is. It says hyperblocked, and it's all in capital letters in purple. And I don't know if it was that person. But
it was that guy or that person and some other person. And I was just like, I'm good.
Okay. Hey, I know how it is. All right.
Yeah. All right. That's
no
fine.
problem.
I'll see you on Patreon.
Thank God.
Okay.
Okay. I'll see you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye. As you all know, I'm all about making everyone happy. Hey, guys, don't worry about it on the comments. If she can't hang, that's okay. She'll be back. She's tough. I have no idea what the hell's going on. I'm barely paying attention. We will get to the asshole of the day in just a little bit. I'm encouraging you to reach out to me if you want me to talk about your business. Advertising on the Eric Zane Show podcast works. I'm finishing up a massive week. It's been an absolute juggernaut for audio podcast downloads. We're knocking on the door of 50,000 for the week, and that's pretty fantastic. I'm usually pretty happy with 35, 40, but it's been awesome. Thank you. And if you want your message heard, going out to thousands of people, reach out to me. It's affordable family fun. Eric at ericzaneshow.com on the Shoreliner striping inbox. I will help you out and tell you how it works. No budget is too little or no budget is too big, obviously. Eric at ericzaneshow.com. Extremely grateful for advertisers like the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. Folks, if you're like, this credit card bill, this pesky $7,000, though it's not killing us, I want it gone because the interest rate is now way up on that card after the Fed jacked it again. So you see, you're paying a lot in interest on that $7,000. So if you're sitting at a 24% on that $7,000, that's a lot of money extra that they're making off of you. Go and get the money out of your house, whose value is, and the value of that house is through the roof right now. And, get the money out of your house and pay 5% or less on that same amount of money. Take the money, don't spend it, and pay off that bill. That's smart. Then instead of paying 24%, you're paying 5 or less. You're getting the money out of your house. That's a good move. That's a solid maneuver. Okay? Then the bill's gone. Then you can take that extra money and either save it, which is what I recommend, and invest it in yourself, into your retirement account or whatever you do with your money, your IRA, or save it for, something else, maybe a car payment or something. All right. More info when you reach out to Mario from the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage, NMLS number 3035, 231-332-6505. Or you just want to get a mortgage to buy a house. If your credit's great, this is going to be an easy process. If it stinks, it's going to take a little bit more work, but he's up for it. 231-332-6505. Servicing customers anywhere in the U.S. with the exception of Alaska, Hawaii, South Carolina, and Maine. Shout out to Joe Martinez from A&E Heating and Cooling. 616-516-8579. He's the best. If you need some scheduled maintenance for your AC or your furnace, reach out to Joe. 616-516-8579. You need a new install on a furnace or an air conditioner. He'll install the Comfort Maker brand of furnaces and air conditioners, which is the absolute gold standard. Thank you, Joe Martinez. Some comments from you all. Kent dropped the E out of you, says Senor Martinez will be at my house today. Thank you, Kent, from Johnson Carpet One Discount Outlet. Hyper Blocked. It's a new name. I don't know if this is a person who's been here before and just going by a different name. Perhaps. That's going to happen. We've got an armada of listeners who are in flux right now. Not an armada. It's a group of listeners who don't want to be known by their original names. So they're changing their names. And I can't prove it, but I'm assuming Hyperblocked is one of those. Welcome. I paid for Eric Zane ads, and now I own my first home. Ads work with Eric Zane. Well, maybe not. Hyperblock says, nope, you ain't seen me before. And Hyperblocked is also a streamer, so welcome. Sorry, Stevie. I hope it wasn't my ding-dong comment, says Josh. Who knows? Who knows? Kent dropped the E out of you, referring to Joe Martinez's forbidden Spanish. I want him to teach me to say it's colder than a witch's tit in here. All right. We have the asshole of the day. Who is it going to be today? Oh, by the way, Tony Dow did finally pass away. Yesterday's asshole of the day was Tony Dow's publicist. That poor guy. Rest in peace, Tony Dow. Okay. Asshole of the day. We talked about the huge show. Jerry Jones has an M word problem. Okay. And we also have a problem because I left the cap like an asshole off of my dry erase marker overnight, and it's fucking dead. So I want you to pretend that there it says, fan rushes who rush stage is the asshole of the day and nearly had Tom Morello killed. That fan who interrupted the Rage Against the Machine show is your asshole of the day, brought to you by TC Paintball and JM Synthetics. That reminds me, I should probably include some Rage Against the Machine on the Insane Asylum at some point. I'll be making that show within the next day or so, and available for you on Patreon. Sign up on Patreon. I had Shelly A signed up yesterday. I appreciate that. August 1 is going to be a bitch because after the past week, I'm expecting some blowback from that when those Patreons run out, because when you cancel, you get the rest of the month. So, okay, yeah, looking to make that up with new members. I would appreciate that. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. As you know, I do this show free in hopes that you'll sign up for the Patreon to get more content. So honestly, if you are like, okay, I wish I had more to listen to during the week. This just isn't enough, especially if you're the type that listens to a lot of stuff during your work week. This thing is the perfect complement for you. I put a lot of material up on it, and so I try to over-deliver on the Patreon. So during a given listening week, you're sitting on 25, 26 hours of content. And I hope that works for you. Please try it. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. $5 a month, all of the audio and the archive. $10 a month, all of the video and the audio archive and the live stream. Are the former Patreon listeners still coming to the Thursday Zoom? You mean the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast? I don't know. I can't get into their brains. They are invited because they still have to the end of July to utilize the content. So that doesn't change. That's part of the deal. You know, I would never take that away from them. But we'll see. I don't know. That might be, if that happened, all those people who canceled, and they show up, oh, my God, would that be fantastic? That would be great. Now, frankly, I don't know if I have the energy to get into another shouting match. I don't know if I have the energy to win, I should say, another shouting match. But, you know, whatever. God knows. I cannot get into their brains. They make their own adult decisions. But we can only hope that that does happen.
You suck a big black dick because I know you want to, Eric.
That might be the greatest clip that is ever clipped. Go suck a big black dick because I know you want to, Eric. Like that's a bad thing. Who wouldn't want to do that? That's a ladies and men thing. A giant black dick?
You suck a big black dick because I know you want to, Eric.
Okay. Guilty. Got to work on your insults.
You suck a big black dick because I know you want to, Eric.
I want to remind you to go suck a big black dick because I know you want to. All right. Brandy says she just spit out her water to suck a big black dick. Are you getting ready right now to suck a big black dick, Brandy? I cannot believe it. Brandy's getting ready to suck a big black dick right now. Good for you. Good for you. I'm going to go too. See you, folks. Have a good one. Bye-bye. Wait a minute, I said it wrong. It's Brandis, not Brandy. My bad. Brandis is getting ready to go suck a big black dick.